Captain Lee Jinwoo stood on the bridge of the exploration ship Handbox Pride, staring at the view screen with growing concern. The stars looked normal in this part of space, but something was wrong. His sensors showed an object floating in the darkness ahead, something that should not be there. "What do you see, Minho?" Jinwoo asked his tactical officer. Park Minho checked his instruments twice before answering. "Sir, it looks like a ship, but it's not human-made. The design is completely different from anything in our databases." Jinwoo moved closer to the screen. The alien vessel was larger than his own ship, with smooth curves that seemed to flow like water, but the hull was damaged. Long cuts ran along its sides and parts of it were missing completely. "Any signs of life?" Jinwoo asked. "Scanning now, sir." Minho worked at his console for several minutes. "I'm getting very weak power readings. Something is still working over there, but barely." Dr. Kim Soyoung, the ship's doctor and scientist, joined them on the bridge. She had been studying alien lifeforms for most of her career, but she had never seen a real alien ship before. "This is incredible," she said, looking at the damaged vessel. "We're looking at proof that we're not alone in the universe." Jinwoo nodded, but his mind was on more practical matters. "The ship is damaged. There might be survivors who need help." Minho, prepare a boarding party. "I want you, Soyoung, and 2 security officers ready in 10 minutes. "Sir, are you sure that's wise?" Minho asked. "We don't know what's inside that ship. It could be dangerous." "That's exactly why we need to check," Jinwoo replied. "If there are survivors, they need our help, and if there are threats, we need to know about them." The boarding party prepared quickly. They put on their spacesuits and checked their equipment. Jinwoo led them across the empty space between the 2 ships in a small shuttle. Up close, the alien ship looked even more damaged. The hull was covered in what looked like claw marks, as if some giant beast had tried to tear it apart. They found an airlock that was still working, and managed to get inside. The ship's interior was dark, with only emergency lights providing a dim glow. The air was breathable, but it smelled strange, like metal and something else they could not identify. "Stay close," Jinwoo whispered. "We don't know what we might find." They moved through the ship's corridors carefully. The walls were covered in a material that felt warm to the touch, almost like living skin. Strange symbols were carved into the surfaces, probably the alien language. Captain Soyoung said softly, "Look at this." She was pointing to marks on the walls. They were definitely claw marks, but they were made from the inside of the ship, not the outside. Something had been trying to get out, not in. They continued deeper into the ship until they reached what looked like the main control room. And there, in the center of the room, they found her. The alien was tall, taller than any human, and covered in what looked like armor. But the armor was not separate from her body. It seemed to grow from her skin, with tubes and wires connecting different parts. She was slumped over a control panel, not moving. "Is she alive?" Jinwoo asked. Young checked her scanner. "Yes, but her life signs are very weak. She's badly injured." As if hearing their voices, the alien raised her head. Her face was mostly hidden by a helmet that was part of her armor, but they could see her eyes. They were large and dark, and filled with pain. "Stay back," the alien said, speaking in broken human language. "Not safe." "I am not safe." Jinwoo was amazed. "You speak our language." "I learned from your transmissions," the alien replied. "Your people broadcast into space. I listened. I learned." "What's your name?" Soyoung asked gently. The alien was quiet for a moment. "I am called Kira. I am a warrior of the Valorian people, but I am alone now. My unit is dead. My ship is dying." "What happened to you?" Jinwoo asked. Kira's head dropped. "We were attacked by the Devourers. They are coming. They follow me. They will find you too." "Now who are the Devourers?" Soyoung asked. "Death," Kira said simply. "They eat everything. They take memories, knowledge, life. They grow stronger with each world they consume." Jinwoo felt a chill run down his spine. "Are they following you now?" "Yes, they are slow, but they never stop. They will come." Kira tried to stand but collapsed. Back onto the control panel. "You must leave. Take your ship far from here. Forget you found me. We're not leaving you," Jinwoo said firmly. "You're injured. We can help you." "No," Kira's voice was stronger now, almost angry. "You do not understand. I am dangerous. I am made for war. I have killed thousands. I am not like you." Soyoung stepped forward carefully. "You're hurt. Let us help you. We have medical equipment on our ship." "You would help me?" Kira asked, surprise in her voice. "But you do not know what I am, what I have done." "We know you're hurt and alone," Jinwoo said. "That's enough." Kira stared at them for a long moment. "Your people are strange. You show kindness to those who could destroy you. That's what makes us human," Soyoung said with a smile. Kira was quiet again, thinking. Finally she spoke. "I will come with you, but you must promise me something. If I become a danger to your people, you must stop me. You must not let me to hurt anyone." "You won't hurt anyone," Jinwoo said. "You do not know what I am beneath this armor," Kira replied. "You call me a warrior. You might even call me beautiful. But you have not seen what I truly am, what they made me into." Jinwoo helped Kira to her feet. She was heavy, much heavier than a human her size should be. The armor was not just covering her body, it was part of her body. "Whatever you are," Jinwoo said, You deserve help. You deserve kindness. Kira looked at him with those large, dark eyes. I hope you still believe that when you learn the truth about me. They helped Kira to their shuttle and brought her aboard the Handbox Pride as they flew away from the dead alien ship. Jinwoo wondered what they had gotten themselves into. But he knew one thing for certain. They had done the right thing. Behind them, the damaged alien ship finally lost power and went dark. And somewhere in the depths of space, something else was moving toward them, following the trail that Kira had left behind. Dr. Kim Soyoung had seen many strange things in her career as a doctor and scientist, but nothing had prepared her for treating an alien patient. Kira lay on the medical table in the ship's infirmary, her tall form barely fitting on the bed, designed for humans. I need to examine your injuries, Soyoung said gently. Can you remove your armor? Kira's head turned toward her, and even through the helmet, Soyoung could feel the alien's sadness. I cannot remove it. It is not armor that I wear. It is part of me now. What do you mean? Soyoung asked, confused. When I was young, my people took me and others like me. They cut into our bodies and put this armor inside us. It grows with us. It feeds from us. We become one with it. Kira's voice was quiet, filled with old pain. Engineer Choi Dae-hyun entered the medical bay, carrying his scanning equipment. He had been curious about Kira's armor since they brought her aboard. May I scan your armor? I want to understand how it works. Kira nodded slowly. You may try, but be careful. The armor does not like strangers. Dae-hyun began his scans, and his eyes grew wide as he read the results. Captain Ginwoo needs to see this, he said. Calling the bridge. Jin-Woo arrived quickly, along with communications officer Han Yujin, who had been working on improving their translation systems. What did you find? Jinwoo asked. Her armor isn't just attached to her body, Dae-hyun explained. It's connected to her nervous system, her blood vessels, even her bones. It's like she's part machine, part living being. Yujin looked at her translation device. I've been analyzing her speech patterns. She knows at least 12 human languages, and she learned them all from our radio signals. Her brain must be incredibly advanced. Not advanced, Kira said from the table. Changed. They changed our brains to make us better warriors, better killers. Soyoung placed a gentle hand on Kira's arm, feeling the warm metal beneath her fingers. Who did this to you? My own people, the Valorians. We have been at war with the Devourers for 300 years. Each generation, the war gets worse, so we make our children into weapons. We call it honor, we call it duty. Kira's voice became bitter. We lie to ourselves. Jinwoo sat down, next to the medical table. How long have you been fighting? Since I was 10 years old. I am 28 now. I have been a soldier for more than half my life. Kira turned her helmet toward him. I have killed so many Devourers that I stopped counting, but also other things. Other people who got in the way. Other people? Yujin asked. The Devourers take over worlds. Sometimes there are survivors hiding. Sometimes those survivors try to help the Devourers to save their own lives. We kill them too. We kill anyone who might be infected. We kill anyone who might be a threat. Kira's voice was empty of emotion. I have killed children who were trying to protect their parents. I have killed parents who were trying to protect their children. The room fell silent. The humans looked at each other, not knowing what to say. Do you think I am a monster now? Kira said. You are right to think this. No, Soyoung said firmly. You were a child when they did this to you. You didn't choose to become a weapon, but I chose to keep fighting. I chose to follow orders. I chose to kill. Kira tried to sit up, but her injuries made her fall back down. You call me beautiful because you see my armor and think it looks noble. You think I am some kind of noble warrior from your stories. We think you're beautiful because you're trying to warn us about danger, Jinwoo said. You could have let us fly away from your ship without telling us about the Devourers, but you warned us. You think you know what beauty is, Kira replied. But you have not seen what I am beneath this armor. You have not seen what they made me into. Dae-hyun looked at his scanner readings again. Your armor has weapon systems built into it. Big ones. But they're not active now. Why? Because I do not want to hurt you. But when the Devourers come, I will have to activate them. And then you will see what I really am. Kira's voice was full of sadness. The armor changes me, makes me into something that is not alive, not dead. Something that exists only to kill. Yujin had been working on her translation device while listening. I've been analyzing the way you speak about yourself. You use words that suggest you still think of yourself as a person, not a weapon. What do you mean? Kira asked. You say I chose and I decided. Weapons don't choose. They just do what they're made to do. But you're making choices. That makes you a person, not a weapon. Kira was quiet for a long time. My people would not agree with you. They say we gave up our humanity to protect our species. They say we are heroes. What do you say? Soyoung asked. I say we are monsters who fight other monsters. And sometimes the monsters we fight are less evil than we are. Kira's voice was barely a whisper. I have seen Devourers show mercy too. They're enemies. I have never shown mercy to mine. Jinwoo stood up and walked to the window, looking out at the stars. The Devourers you described sound terrible. They eat people and steal their memories. They destroy entire worlds. Yes, Kira agreed. Then someone needs to fight them. Someone needs to protect the innocent people who can't protect themselves. Yes, Kira said again, but with less certainty. Maybe the problem isn't that you fight. Maybe the problem is how you were taught to fight. Jinwoo turned back to face her. Maybe there's another way. I do not understand, So-young smiled. We humans have a saying, the best way to destroy an enemy is to make him a friend. We don't always follow that saying, but we try to. You would try to make friends with the Devourers, Kira asked, surprised. Maybe not with the Devourers, Daehyun said, but maybe with other people like you. Other warriors who are tired of fighting, other people who want to choose what they become instead of being told what they are, Yujin added. Kira was quiet again, thinking, you really think I can be more than a weapon? We know you can, Jinwoo said, because you already are. An alarm started beeping on the bridge. Minho's voice came over the communication system. Captain, you need to get up here. We're detecting ships approaching. A lot of ships. Jinwoo looked at Kira, who had suddenly become very still. They found me, she whispered. The Devourers are here. Captain Jinwoo ran to the bridge with the others following behind him. Even Dr. So-young left her patient to see what was happening. Only Kira remained in the medical bay, but her armor was beginning to glow with strange lights. Report, Jinwoo ordered as he reached his command chair. Park Minho pointed at the main screen. 12 ships, sir. They appeared at the edge of our sensor range 5 minutes ago. They're moving toward us at high speed. Jinwoo looked at the screen and felt his blood turn cold. The approaching ships didn't look like ships at all. They looked like giant insects made of metal and flesh. Long curved shapes that seemed to twist and move even in the vacuum of space. Those are Devourer bioships. Kira's voice came from behind them. She had managed to walk to the bridge, though she was clearly in pain. They grow their ships instead of building them. How many soldiers do they carry? Minho asked. Each ship can hold 1,000 Devourers, maybe more. Kira moved to the tactical station and looked at the sensor readings. You need to run now. Your ship is not made for war. We can't outrun them, Minho reported. They're faster than us. Jinwoo studied the approaching fleet. What are our weapons? We have mining lasers and some small defensive guns, Minho replied. Nothing designed to fight a fleet of warships. It will not matter, Kira said. Devourer ships heal themselves. They grow new parts to replace damaged ones. Your weapons will not stop them. Engineer Daehyun was working at his station. I can boost power to our shields, but it won't help much against 12 ships. Why are they following you? Yujin asked Kira. Because I carry information they want. I know the location of 3 Valorian colony worlds. If they capture me alive, they can take that knowledge from my mind. Kira's armor was glowing brighter now, and mechanical sounds were coming from inside it. They will also want to study my armor, learn how to make their own warriors stronger. Jinwoo made a decision. We fight, sir. Minho looked at him in surprise. We fight, Jinwoo repeated. We can't outrun them, we can't hide from them. So, we fight, Captain. We will all die, Kira said. These are not enemies you can reason with or scare away. They exist only to consume. Then we die fighting instead of running. Jinwoo looked around the bridge at his crew. Anyone who wants to object can speak now. Nobody spoke. Minho straightened up at his station. Orders, sir. Battle stations. Yujin, send a message to Earth. Tell them what we found and what's coming. Daehyun, give me everything you can for weapons and shields. So-young, prepare the medical bay for casualties. I will help you fight, Kira said. You're injured, So-young protested. I am always injured. That is what warriors like me are for. Kira moved toward the tactical station. I know how Devourers think. I know how they fight. I can help you hurt them. The alien ships were getting closer. On the main screen, the humans could see more details of the bioships. They had what looked like eyes and mouths. Some had tentacles that waved in space like they were swimming through water. They're really alive, So-young whispered. Yes, the Devourers take over other life forms and change them into ships, weapons, soldiers. Everything they touch becomes part of them. Kira was working at the tactical controls, her armored fingers moving faster than human hands could move. But that is also their weakness. What weakness? Jinwoo asked. They are all connected. Hurt one badly enough and the others feel it, too. Kira brought up a display showing the approaching ships. See that one in the center? It is larger than the others. That is the command ship. If we can damage it, the others will be confused for a short time. How do we damage something that heals itself? Daehyun asked. Fire. They heal from most damage, but they cannot heal from being burned completely. Fire destroys the connections between their parts. Minho was checking their weapons. Our mining lasers can create heat, but not enough to burn through those ships. What if we focus all our power into one laser? Daehyun suggested. Overload it. That might work for one shot, Kira said. But then your ship will have no power. For shields or engines, one shot is all we need, Jinwoo decided. If we can damage their command ship, maybe we can escape while they're confused. The Devourer ships were close enough now that the humans could see creatures moving on their surfaces. The creatures looked like a horrible mix of different animals, all twisted together. They're launching attack pods, Minho reported. Small objects were separating from the bioships and flying toward the human vessel. They moved like living things, changing direction quickly and unpredictably. Those pods carry boarding parties, Kira explained. They will try to attach to your ship and cut their way inside. Can we shoot them down? Jinwoo asked. Some of them, but others will get through. Kira's armor was making more sounds now, and lights were flashing all over her body. When they do, I will have to fight them. We'll fight them together, Minho said. Kira turned to look at him. No, you do not understand. When I fight devourers, I cannot control what happens. My armor takes over. I become something else. What do you mean? Soyoung asked. I mean that when my armor activates its combat systems, I am no longer the person you have been talking to. I become a weapon, a killing machine. And I cannot tell the difference between enemies and friends. The first attack pods hit the ship's shields, causing sparks to fly from control panels on the bridge. Shields holding Daehan reported. But not for long. Charge the main laser, Jinwoo ordered. Target their command ship. Sir, if we use all our power for the laser, we won't have shields when those pods break through, Minho warned. Then we better make this shot count. Jinwoo looked at Kira. Are you sure about the fire? I am sure, but Captain, when I activate my combat systems, you must keep your people away from me. Promise me this. Jinwoo saw the fear in her eyes, even through her helmet. I promise. Laser charged and ready, Minho reported. Fire. The mining laser, boosted with all the ship's power, shot out like a bolt of lightning. It hit the Devourer command ship right in the center, burning through its biometal hull. The creature ship screamed, a sound that somehow carried through space and shook the human vessel. Direct hit, Minho shouted. The command ship is burning. The other Devourer ships suddenly stopped moving in formation. They began flying in random directions, like animals that had lost their leader, but the attack pods were still coming. 3 of them broke through the weakened shields and attached to the ship's hull. Hull breach on deck 3, Daehan reported. They're cutting through. Kira stood up, her armor now glowing so brightly it hurt to look at. Remember your promise, Captain. Stay away from me. She walked toward the door, but turned back one more time. You called me beautiful, human, but you have not seen what I am beneath this armor. You are about to see the monster your kindness tried to save. And then she was gone, heading toward the hull breach where the Devourers were breaking in. The sounds of cutting metal echoed through the ship as the Devourer attack pods worked to break through the hull. Captain Jinwoo watched his crew prepare for battle with equipment they had never expected to use. Park. Minho distributed the ship's small collection of weapons to the crew members. They were mostly tools converted for defense, plasma cutters, welding torches, and a few old-style projectile guns from the emergency supplies. These won't do much against armored enemies, Minho said as he handed Jinwoo a plasma cutter. They'll have to do, Jinwoo replied. How long until they break through? Engineer Daehan checked his instruments. 3 minutes, maybe less. They're using some kind of acid to dissolve the hull. Dr. Soyoung was setting up a mobile medical station in the corridor near the bridge. I've got emergency supplies ready, but if anyone gets seriously hurt, we'll deal with that when it happens, Jinwoo said. Right now we focus on staying alive. Communications officer Eugene was still at her station, monitoring the enemy ships. Captain, the Devourer fleet is regrouping. Their command ship stopped burning and they're forming up again. How long do we have? Maybe 10 minutes before they're in position to attack again. A loud crash came from deck 3, followed by the sound of the ship's atmosphere rushing out through holes in the hull. Emergency systems activated, sealing off the damaged sections. Hull breach complete, Daehan reported. They're inside. Then they heard something else, a sound like nothing any of them had ever heard before. It was part mechanical, part animal, and completely terrifying. It was the sound of Kira's armor activating its combat systems. What is that? Soyoung whispered. Before anyone could answer, they heard weapons fire from deck 3, but it wasn't the steady beam of human energy weapons. It was rapid bursts of different sounds, explosions, cutting beams, and things that sounded like thunder. She's fighting them, Minho said. The battle sounds grew louder and more intense. Through the ship's communication system, they could hear roaring sounds that might have been Devourers and other sounds that might have been Kira, but didn't sound human at all. I'm reading massive energy signatures from deck 3, Daehan said. Whatever she's doing down there, it's using more power than our entire ship generates. How is that possible? Jinwoo asked. Her armor must have its own power source, Soyoung suggested. Something we can't detect with our instruments. The battle sound suddenly stopped. The ship became eerily quiet. Is it over? Eugene asked. Before anyone could answer, new alarms started ringing. More attack pods were attaching to the ship. 5 more breaches, Daehan reported. Decks 2, 4, and 5. They're coming in everywhere. Jinwoo realized their situation was hopeless. Even if Kira had defeated the first boarding party, she couldn't be in 5 places at once. All hands, prepare to repel boarders. This is not a drill. The crew took positions throughout the ship, but Jinwoo knew their small weapons would be useless against real Devourer soldiers. He had seen the creatures on the exterior cameras, twisted combinations of different species, all teeth and claws and armor. The first new breach opened on deck 4. Through the security cameras, they watched as creatures poured into the ship. They moved like a combination of insects and lizards, but they were the size of humans. Some had multiple arms, others had tentacles instead of legs. All of them had too many teeth. "They're heading for the bridge," Minho reported. But then something strange happened. The creatures stopped moving. They stood in the corridor looking confused, like they were waiting for orders that weren't coming. "Why aren't they attacking?" Soyoung asked. Yujin checked her instruments. "The command ship is burning again. Look at the main screen." On the display, they could see that the Devourer command ship was indeed on fire once more. But this time the fire was spreading to the other ships in the fleet. How was that possible? Daehyun wondered. Their question was answered when Kira's voice came over the communication system. But it didn't sound like her voice anymore. It was deeper, more mechanical, and filled with an anger that made the humans step back from their stations. "I have taken control of their communication network," the voice said. "I am sending a virus through their bioneural connections. It will destroy their ability to coordinate." Kira Ginwoo called. "Are you all right?" "Kira is not here right now," the voice replied. "There is only the weapon. Only the war machine your kindness tried to save." On the security cameras, they could see her moving through the ship's corridors, but she no longer looked like the person they had been talking to. Her armor had expanded, giving her extra arms that ended in weapons instead of hands. Her legs, that had been replaced by something that looked like mechanical spider legs. Her helmet had opened to reveal a face that was more machine than living tissue. She moved through the ship with impossible speed, hunting down the Devourer boarding parties. When she found them, the battles were short and brutal. Her weapons cut through the creatures like they were made of paper. "She's not fighting like a person," Minho observed. "She's fighting like a computer program designed to kill." "That's exactly what she's become," Soyoung said sadly. "Her armor has taken over her mind." The Devourer soldiers throughout the ship were becoming more confused as their command network continued to break down. Some of them started fighting each other. Others simply stopped moving altogether. "The virus is working," Yujin reported. "The enemy fleet is falling apart. Ships are crashing into each other." But Jinwoo was worried about something else. "Kira, can you hear me?" "The weapon hears you," came the mechanical reply. "The weapon will complete its mission. All enemies will be destroyed." "What about after that? What happens to you after the enemies are gone?" There was a long pause. "The weapon will continue to function until it is no longer needed. Then it will shut down." "What does that mean?" "Means Kira will die," Soyoung whispered. "The combat systems are burning out her biological functions. If she doesn't shut them down soon, they'll kill her." Jinwoo made a decision that his crew thought was insane. He left the bridge and started walking toward Deck 3, where the fighting had been heaviest. "Captain." "No," Minho called after him. "She said to stay away from her." "She's dying," Jinwoo replied. "I won't let her die thinking she's just a weapon." He found Kira in the main corridor on Deck 3. The walls were covered in strange burns and cuts from the battle. Pieces of destroyed Devourers were scattered everywhere. And in the middle of it all stood the thing that Kira had become. She was terrifying. Her armor had turned her into a walking weapons platform with multiple arms, enhanced legs, and sensors that glowed like angry eyes. When she saw Jinwoo, all of her weapons turned toward him. "Stay back," the mechanical voice warned. "You are not authorized for this area." "Kira," Jinwoo said calmly. "I know you're still in there." "Kira is gone. Only the weapon remains." "No, she's not gone. She's the one who saved us. She's the one who found a way to stop the Devourers." Jinwoo took a step closer, even though every instinct told him to run. Weapons don't make choices like that. People do. The weapon systems aimed at Ginwoo, charging up to fire. But then they stopped. "I can hear her," the mechanical voice said, but now it sounded confused. "She is fighting me. She does not want to hurt you." "Then let her take control. Let her choose." "I cannot. The combat protocols must be completed. The combat is over. Look around you. All the enemies are defeated." The armored figure looked around at the destroyed Devourers, then at the security cameras showing the confused enemy soldiers throughout the ship. "Mission parameters fulfilled," the voice said. "Beginning shutdown sequence." "No," Jinwoo shouted. "Don't shut down. Let Kira choose what happens next." The armor began to fold back into itself, returning to its normal configuration. As it did, they could hear Kira screaming in pain. The transformation was agony for her. When it was over, she collapsed to the floor, her armor dim and quiet. Jinwoo ran to her side. "Kira, are you still with us?" She raised her head weakly. "I told you not to come near me when I was like that." "You also told me I hadn't seen what you really were," Ginwoo replied. "Well, now I have, and you're still beautiful to me." Dr. Kim So-young knelt beside Kira in the damaged corridor, her medical scanner showing readings she had never seen before. The alien warrior was barely conscious, her armor dim and making quiet mechanical sounds like a machine running down. "Her biological signs are critical," So-young reported to Captain Jin. "Whatever that transformation did to her, it nearly killed her, but she's alive," Jinwoo said. "That's what matters." Park Min-ho's voice came over the communication system from the bridge. "Captain, the Devourer fleet is retreating. Their ships are heavily damaged, and they seem to have lost coordination completely. Good. What about the boarding parties? Most of them are dead or unconscious. The few that are still alive seem confused. They're not attacking anymore. Jinwoo helped So-young move Kira to the medical bay. Even with her armor powered down, she was still incredibly heavy. It took both of them plus engineer Daehan to get her onto the medical table. I need to understand what happened to her, So-young said, running more detailed scans. Her body has been pushed far beyond normal limits. Kira's eyes opened, focusing slowly on the humans around her. You should not have seen that, she whispered. Seen what? Jinwoo asked. What I become when the armor takes control. What I really am underneath all the modifications. Kira tried to sit up but was too weak. Now you know why I said you had not seen what I am beneath the armor. We saw you save our lives, So-young said gently. We saw you destroy enemies that were trying to kill us. You saw a monster. A thing that exists only to kill. That is what my people made me into. Kira's voice was filled with shame. When the combat systems activate, I am no longer a person. I become a weapon that cannot tell friends from enemies. Daehan was studying the readings from his scanners. Your armor has incredible technology built into it. The power levels you generated were impossible by our understanding of physics. The armor has its own reactor, Kira explained. It feeds on my life force to power itself. Every time I use the combat systems, it takes years off my life. How many years? So-young asked, though she was afraid of the answer. I do not know. The armor does not tell me. But each transformation becomes harder to survive. Kira looked at Jinwoo. That is why I wanted you to stay away. If the armor had decided you were a threat, it would have killed you instantly. Communications. Officer Yujin entered the medical bay. I've been analyzing the virus you sent through the Devourer network. How did you do that? The armor can interface with any bioneural system, Kira replied. It was designed to hack into Devourer technology and turn it against them. But using that ability, she paused, looking painful. It requires me to connect my mind directly to theirs. I had to think like them, feel like them. That sounds horrible, So-young said. It is. For those few minutes, I could feel the hunger of every devourer in the fleet. Their need to consume, to absorb, to grow. It nearly drove me insane. Kira's hands were shaking. I understand now why so many shieldbreakers go mad after their first major battle. Jinwoo sat down next to the medical table. Shieldbreakers, that is what my people, core warriors like me. We are the ones who break through enemy defenses, no matter the cost to ourselves. Kira's voice became bitter. They tell us we are heroes. They tell us we are necessary. But they also make sure we can never live normal lives. What do you mean? Yujin asked. Look at me. Really look at me. Kira gestured to her armor-covered body. I cannot remove this armor. I cannot eat normal food because my digestive system has been replaced with mechanical parts. I cannot sleep normally because the armor requires constant maintenance of my body. I cannot have relationships because I am always one emergency away from becoming a killing machine. The humans exchanged glances. They were beginning to understand the true horror of what had been done to Kira. My people take children and turn them into weapons, Kira continued. They tell us it is for the greater good. They tell us we are saving our species. But what they really do is create monsters who can never be anything but monsters. So-young checked her scanner readings again. The armor isn't just attached to your body. It's replaced parts of your body. Your heart, your lungs. Major organs have been replaced with mechanical versions. Yes, I am more machine than living being now. And every year they replace more. Kira's voice was barely audible. Eventually there will be nothing left of the person I was. Only the weapon will remain. Daehan looked up from his instruments. But you fought against the armor's control. You chose not to hurt the captain when the weapon systems wanted to eliminate him as a threat. That should not have been possible, Kira admitted. The combat protocols are designed to override any personal feelings or loyalties. But when I heard his voice, something inside me refused to let the armor hurt him. Maybe that's proof that you're still a person, Jinwoo suggested. Maybe the part of you that they couldn't replace is stronger than they thought. Or maybe it was just a malfunction. Kira replied sadly. I don't think it was a malfunction, Yujin said. I recorded everything that happened during the battle. Your voice patterns changed when the armor took control, but they changed back when you chose to spare the captain. That suggests conscious choice, not mechanical failure. So-young was studying the medical readings more carefully. There's something else. Your biological science improved after you made the choice to spare Jinwoo. It's like making that choice. That actually helped your body fight against the armor's control. That is impossible, Kira said. Maybe not, Jinwoo replied. Maybe your people were wrong about what makes someone strong. Maybe the ability to choose compassion is more powerful than any weapon they could build. Kira was quiet for a long time, thinking about what the humans had said. My trainers always told us that caring about others would make us weak, that attachment would compromise our effectiveness in battle. But you cared about us, and it made you strong enough to save us all, So-young pointed out. You also cared enough about us to warn us not to get too close when you were dangerous, Daehan added. A pure weapon wouldn't have done that. And you fought against the armor's programming to avoid hurting Jinwoo, Yujin said. That took incredible strength of will. Kira looked around at all the humans surrounding her. You really believe I am still a person? Even after seeing what I become? We believe you're a person who was forced to become a weapon, Jinwoo replied. But the person is still there. The person is what saved us. You called me beautiful before. You saw my true form, Kira said. Do you still think that now? Jinwoo smiled. I think you're more beautiful now than before, because now I know that underneath all that armor and technology, there's someone who chooses to protect others instead of just following orders. Kira began to cry. It was the first time the humans had seen her show such emotion. I have not cried since I was a child. The armor suppresses most emotions because they interfere with combat efficiency. Then maybe crying is another sign that you're taking control back from the armor, So-young suggested. Maybe, Kira whispered. Maybe, there is hope for me after all. An alarm sounded from the bridge. Minho's voice came over the communication system. Captain, we're receiving a transmission. It's from a Valorian fleet. They say they're here to retrieve their lost warrior. Kira's eyes went wide with fear. No, if they take me back, they will punish me for malfunctioning. They will reprogram the armor to prevent what happened here from ever happening again. They will take away your ability to choose, Jinwoo realized. Yes, and then I really will be nothing but a weapon. Jinwoo stood up with determination in his eyes. Then we won't let them take you. Captain Jinwoo stood on the bridge of the Hanbok's Pride, facing the largest decision of his career. On the main screen, he could see the approaching Valorian fleet, 5 massive warships that made his exploration vessel look like a toy, demanding we surrender Kira immediately. Communications officer Yujin reported. They say she is military property of the Valorian Empire. Property, Jinwoo repeated with disgust. They think of her as property. Park Minho was checking his tactical displays. Captain, those ships could destroy us in seconds. We have no way to fight them. We're not going to fight them, Jinwoo said. We're going to talk to them. In the medical bay, Dr. So-young was helping Kira prepare for what might be their final conversation. The alien warrior was still weak from her transformation, but she was determined to face her people. You should let them take me, Kira said. I am not worth starting a war between our species. That's not your choice to make, So-young replied firmly. You're a person, not a piece of equipment. You have the right to decide your own future. Engineer Daehin entered the medical bay, carrying a small device. I've been studying your armor's systems. I think I found something that might help. What do you mean? Kira asked. The armor has a communication system that connects you to other Valorian warriors, but it also has a recording function. It keeps logs of everything that happens during missions. Daehin showed her the device. I can access those logs. Why would that help? Because those logs will show that you chose to save human lives instead of just following orders. They'll prove that your malfunction was actually you becoming more human, not less effective as a warrior. So-young understood what Daehin was suggesting. You want to use the armor's own records to prove that Kira is a person, not just a weapon.
Exactly.
And if she's a person, then she has the right to choose where she wants to live. Meanwhile, on the bridge, the Valorian fleet commander was speaking directly to Jinwoo. The alien appeared on the main screen, tall and proud, wearing armor similar to Kira's but even more elaborate. I am Commander Veltar of the Valorian 5th Battle Fleet. You are harboring stolen military equipment. Return our shield breaker immediately. The name is Kira, Jinwoo replied. And she's not equipment. She's a person who saved our lives. The unit designated Kira 77 is a weapon created for the defense of the Valorian Empire. It has malfunctioned and requires immediate repair and reprogramming. She didn't malfunction. She made a choice to protect innocent people. That's what people do. Commander Veltar's expression showed confusion. Shield breakers are not people. They are tools. Very expensive tools that we cannot afford to lose. If she's just a tool, then why are you so worried about her? Jinwoo challenged. Tools don't inspire fear in their creators. Before the commander could answer, Kira appeared on the bridge, supported by So-young and Daehin. Despite her weakness, she stood as straight as she could. Commander Veltar, she said formally, I request permission to address the fleet. Kira said, you will return to your assigned vessel immediately for repair and reprogramming. No, Kira said simply. I choose to remain here. The commander's face showed shock. You do not have the ability to choose. That function was removed during your conditioning. Then explain how I am choosing now, Kira replied. Explain how I chose to save these humans instead of following standard combat protocols. Daehin stepped forward with his device. Commander, I have access to Kira's armor logs. They show that she made multiple independent decisions during our encounter with the Devourers. Decisions that saved lives and showed creative thinking that is impossible. Then look at the data yourself, Jinwoo said. Unless you're afraid of what you might find. Yujin transmitted the armor logs to the Valorian fleet. There was a long silence as Commander Veltar reviewed the information. These logs show multiple violations of standard operating procedures. The commander finally said, the unit will require extensive reprogramming. Or maybe your procedures are wrong, So-young suggested. Maybe turning people into weapons isn't the best way to fight your enemies. You know nothing of our war, Veltar replied angrily. The Devourers have consumed dozens of worlds. Only our shield breakers can stop them. Kira stopped them, Jinwoo pointed out, and she did it by thinking like a person, not a weapon. She found a solution that pure military programming never could have discovered. Kira stepped forward, her voice growing stronger. Commander, I have served for 18 years. I have never questioned orders. I have never failed a mission. But these humans showed me something I had forgotten. What? They showed me what it means to choose compassion over duty. And that choice made me stronger, not weaker. Kira looked at her former commander with eyes that showed more emotion than any shieldbreaker was supposed to possess. I request permission to remain with the humans as a liaison between our species. Denied, you will return for reprogramming. Then you will have to take me by force, Kira said, and I will resist. Commander Veltar seemed genuinely puzzled. Why would you choose these aliens over your own people? Because my own people see me as a weapon to be used. These humans see me as a person to be valued. Kira's armor began to glow softly. And if you try to take me by force, you will discover that a person fighting for the right to choose is much more dangerous than a weapon following orders. The bridge fell silent. Everyone could feel the tension building as two fleets faced each other across the void of space. Then something unexpected happened. Another voice came from the Valorian fleet, younger and less certain than the commander's. Commander, I am monitoring the biological signs of our other shieldbreakers. They are showing unusual activity. What kind of activity? Emotional responses. Sir, they are reacting to Kira's words. Commander Veltar looked alarmed. That should be impossible. Their emotional suppressors are fully functional. Sir, I think they are choosing to feel emotions, just like Kira chose to save the humans. Jinwoo realized what was happening. Your other warriors are learning that they have a choice to cure it. Kira isn't just asking for her own freedom. She's showing them that they can be more than weapons. The commander's face showed real fear now. If our shield breakers begin to malfunction like this one. They're not malfunctioning, So-young said, gently. They're remembering what it means to be alive. There was a long pause. Then Commander Veltar spoke again, his voice heavy with uncertainty. Kira 7, if I allow you to remain with the humans, will you help us find a new way to fight the a way that does not require us to destroy the humanity of our warriors? Kira looked around at the human crew that had become her friends. I will help you learn what these humans taught me. That strength comes not from removing our ability to choose but from choosing to do what is right. Very well, you may remain as a liaison, but if this experiment fails. It won't fail, Jinwoo said confidently, because we're not conducting an experiment, we're building a friendship. As the Valorian fleet prepared to leave, Kira sat in the ship's observation lounge, looking out at the stars. So-young joined her, carrying 2 cups of tea. How do you feel? So-young asked. Different, better, more like myself than I have felt in years. Kira accepted the tea gratefully. You humans have given me something I thought I had lost forever. What's that? Hope. Hope that I can be more than what I was made to be. Hope that I can choose my own path. Kira sipped the tea and smiled, an expression that looked strange on her armored face but somehow beautiful. You called me beautiful when you first saw me. Now I understand what you meant. What did we mean? You did not see beauty in my armor or my weapons. You saw beauty in my choice to warn you about danger, even though it put me at risk. You saw beauty in my desire to protect others. Kira looked at So-young with eyes that sparkled with new understanding. True beauty is not in what we look like. It is in what we choose to do. So-young smiled. I think you're going to like living with humans. I think so too. Kira agreed. And I think my people have much to learn from yours. The Handbox Pride set course for Earth, carrying news of new allies and new hope. In the depths of space, the Devourer threat still existed, but now it would face something it had never encountered before. Warriors who fought not because they were programmed to, but because they chose to protect those who could not protect themselves. Kira stood at the observation window. No longer a weapon pretending to be a person, but a person who had chosen to be something more than the sum of her modifications. She was beautiful not despite what lay beneath her armor, but because of the choices that armor now served. The future was uncertain, but it was hers to choose, and that made all the difference.